Old Great Bulgaria. Published November the 15th, 2017. Special characters are denoted as follows. And denotes left and right parentheses. Denotes 3 consecutive periods. Old Great Bulgaria or Great Bulgaria. Byzantine Greek, Palaia Megalvulgaria. Also often known by the Latin names Magna Bulgaria and Patria Onoguria. Onogaland was a 7th century state formed by the Bulgars and Onogars on the western Pontic steppe, modern southern Ukraine and southwest Russia. Great Bulgaria was originally centered on Phanagoria, between the Dniester and Lower Volga, in modern Krasnodar Krai, Russia. In the mid-78th century, Great Bulgaria expanded west to include Avar territory and was centered in Poltava. During the late 7th century, however, an Avar-Slavic alliance in the west, and Kazars in the east, defeated the Bulgars and the Great Bulgaria disintegrated. Successor states included the First Bulgarian Empire and Volga Bulgaria. Part 1. Origins. The etymology of the ethnonym Bulgar is not completely understood and difficult to trace back earlier than the 4th century AD. It is generally believed to derive from the Turkic verb bulgar, to stir, mix, disturb, confuse, possibly suggesting that other Turkic peoples regarded the Bulgars as a mixed people and or rebellious. Later Byzantine scholars implied that the Bulgars had previously been known as the Onogars. Onoga. Agathon wrote about the nation of Onoga Bulgars. Nikephoros I stated that Kubrat was lord of the Onogundas. Theophanes referred to them as Onogunda Bulgar, and Constantine VII remarked that the Bulgars formerly called themselves Onogundas. Variations of the name include Onoguri, Onouri, Ongha, Onga, Onghuri, Onguri, Onogunda, Anogunda, and Onogunda. There are several theories about the origin of the name Onoga. In some Turkic languages, On means 10 and G, arrow, and 10 arrows, a federation of 10 tribes. That is, the Western Turkic Khaganate. Within the Turkic languages, Z sounds in the easternmost languages tend to have become R in the westernmost Turkic languages. Therefore, the ethnonym Oghuz may be the source of Oga, that is, Onoga would mean 10 clans of Oghuz. Part 2. Establishment. Between 630 and 635, Khan Kubrat managed to unite the Bulgars, Onogas with the tribes of Kutrigas and Utigas under a single rule, creating a powerful confederation which was referred to by the medieval authors in Western Europe as Old Great Bulgaria, or Patria Onoguria. According to some scholars, it is more correctly called the Onogunda Bulgar Empire. Some scholars, who assume that it stretched as far west as the Pannonian Plain and included among its subjects some of the Pannonian Avars. It is presumed that his capital was the ancient city of Phanagoria on the Taman Peninsula. Kubrat's grave was discovered in 1912 at Parishna, Ukraine. Part 3. Khan Kubrat. According to the Nominalia of the Bulgarian Khans, Kubrat was from the royal clan Dulo and a rightful heir to the Bulgar throne. H. Zotenberg. 1883. While translating John Nikiu Chronicles from Old Ethiopian, intentionally replaced the name Katrades to Kubrat. Since then, the historiography erroneously holds a misconception that Kubrat was raised and baptized by the Byzantine court, while the John's character Katrades has no real-life connection to the ruler of the Great Bulgaria Kubrat. Kubrat quickly managed to overthrow Avar domination, extending Onoga influence among the Bulgarians in Pannonia in what subsequently became known as Hungary. Ultimately, however, although there is no evidence that the Utigas were independent of the Onogas until after Kubert's empire disintegrated. It is believed he seceded from the Onogas when they became entangled in dynastic wars. After Kubert's burial in Malaprishchepina, the Kazas, who had triumphed in the collapse of Onoguria, subjugated Kubert's eldest son and heir Batbayan, forcing his other sons to flee north up the Volga, second son Kotrag, and west into the Balkans, fourth son Kuba and third son Sparok, and Italy, fifth son Alchek, Alzek. Part 4. Disintegration. The events that unfolded following Kubert's death are described by the Byzantine patriarch Nicephorus I. In the times of Emperor Constantine IV, he narrates, Kubrat died and Batbayan, the eldest of his 5 sons, was left in charge of the state. Under strong Khazar pressure, Kubert's other sons disregarded their father's advice to stay together in order to resist the enemies and soon departed, taking their own tribes. Old Great Bulgaria disintegrated under Khazar's pressure in 668. Part 5. Aftermath. Some Bulgars remained in the former Onoguria, under the domination of the Khazars. Bulgars. Some. Who also believe that the present-day Bulgars of the Caucasus are the descendants of the Batbayan Horde even though they and speak a Turkic language of the Kipchak type, but in most Turkic languages the sound B became M. Citation needed. Volga Bulgars. After Kotrag, the leader of the Kutrigas, took control on the western steppe, Batbayan led into the upper Volga-Ural region. There they established Volga Bulgaria, at the confluence of the Volga and Kama, as the Volga or Silver Bulgars. Besimans. They converted voluntarily to Islam in the 9th century. They managed to preserve their national identity well into the 13th century, by repelling the first Mongol attacks in 1223. However, they were eventually subdued. Their capital Bulgar city became one of major cities of the Golden Horde of the Mongols, and the Bulgars mixed with the Tatars. The citizens of the modern Russian republics of Tatarstan and Shuvashia are considered to be descendants of those Bulgars. Bulgars in Vojvodina and Macedonia. Cuba ruled in Sirmium over a mixed group of peoples: Bulgars, Byzantine subjects, Slavs, Germanic tribes as of Assel of the Avarkar Aegon. After a revolt he led his people to Macedonia. There he had settled in the region of Karamisa and made an unsuccessful attempt to capture the city of Thessaloniki. After this, he disappears from history and his people were later consolidated into the Bulgarian Empire by Khan Krum. Bulgars in Italy. Other Bulgars, circa 662, led by their Duke Alzeko Altsek, sought refuge from the Avars with the Lombards and requested land from the Lombard king Grimoald I of Benevento in exchange for military service, for an uncertain reason, initially staying near Ravenna and later moving further south. Grimoald sent Altzek and his followers to his son Romuald in Benevento, and they were then granted by Romuald land northeast of Naples in the spacious but up till that time deserted towns of Sepino, Bovionum, Boono, and Isinia, in the present-day region of Molise in the Apennines. Instead of the title Duke, Altzek was granted the Lombard title of Gastald. Paul the Deacon in his Historia Langobardorum, writing after the year 787, says that in his time Bulgars still inhabited the area, and that even though they speak Latin, they have not forsaken the use of their own tongue. Excavations in the necropolis of Vicen Campocharo near Boono, which dates from the 7th century, found among 130 burials that there were 13 human burials alongside horses, along with artifacts of Germanic and Avar origin. Horse burials are characteristic of Central Asian horse nomads, and therefore these burials are clearly those of the Bulgar settlers of Molise and Campania. First Bulgarian Empire. After the state disintegrated under Khazar attack in 668, Asparuk parted ways with his brothers and led some of the Bulgars to seek a secure home. He was followed by 30,000 to 50,000 Bulgars. After the Battle of Ongolsparuk founded the First Bulgarian Empire, which was officially recognized as an independent state by the Byzantine Empire in 681. This recording is a derivative work from Wikipedia. For more information, please visit www.frogcast.org.